Hey, what's going on out there, YouTube? This is SEL0320. I'm back for a brand new non-spoiler review on Jurassic World week. Woo, everybody! So this is finally it, y'all. Jurassic World non-spoiler review. If you've already seen the movie, go definitely check out my spoiler-free review, which I talk about a lot. It's about 15 minutes worth. I'm not gonna go over on this, so I'm just gonna kind of keep to the script. But so. Jurassic World. This one, if I read the synopsis, hopefully it doesn't spoil anything, because gosh knows, IMDb spoiled everything. So, 22 years after the events of Jurassic World, and Isla Nublar, the island, essentially, now features a fully functioning dinosaur theme park named Jurassic World, originally envisioned by John Hammond himself. After 10 years of operation and visitor ratings declining, in order to fulfill a corporate mandate, a new attraction is created to re-spark the visitors' interest, which backfires horribly. That is a perfect synopsis, actually. Wow, good job, IMDb. So, this one was directed by Colin Trevorrow. He doesn't have a big rap sheet. I know the executive producer is definitely back. It's Steven Spielberg, starring a lot of different actors, to be honest with you. Chris Pratt as a character Owen, Bryce Dallas Howard as Claire, Ty Simpkins, who was in Iron Man 3, plays the character Gray, Vincent D'Onofrio, who played Kingpin in the Daredevil series, is playing Royal Hoskins. And I mean, even Omar Sy, who played Bishop in the X-Men series, he plays the role of Barry. And there are so many other nudges in this one to the original. There are Easter eggs galore. If you want to know some of them, go to my spoiler-free review, I'll tell you about it. So off the gate, as far as the visuals, as far as the score, what did I think? As far as the visual effects is concerned, one of the things I'll say to you, if you're looking for this to have those practical animatronic dinosaurs of the old, like the second one and the first one, that's not here. And one of the things that I think the director has said is that he wanted to make sure every close-up scene was something that you could feel. You could kind of like, you could really smell like that this is something really that could take a chunk out of somebody. And when they did the back fold, then that's when they used the CGI elements. And even today, like, this is historic, you know, like those were the pioneer movies that solidified this. One of the things that I'll say though, when I go back even looking at them, I knew when those close-up scenes that those were not like real. Those were not real. You know what I'm saying? The CG now can push the envelope of blurring that line. Did they get that close? Yes, they did. As far as how they developed the different dinosaurs and the elements around it, and especially like one of the scenes that I really enjoyed is like there's this huge dinosaur that's in the water and it's circling around the bowl in the Jurassic World. Like, I was like, wow, that's on a grand scope. And I looked at it in IMAX 3D. It did a really good job with the CG, y'all. Like, even like towards the latter end of it, where you actually see these dinosaurs going head to head, it gets really raw. I can compare it to Godzilla. I can even compare it to Pacific Rim as far as the epic level with one of the fight sequences. If you know what I'm talking about, it involves this new threat. This new, what I'm going to say is a hybrid dinosaur that they've cocked it up to try to bring attention, and it really seriously backfires. Like, this thing is ruthless, it is maniacal, it's calculative, and honestly, if Chris Pratt's character wasn't there, I don't know what anybody would do. But as far as how they handled it, and as far as the scenes that it was in, they use great practical effects with the actual actors. Like when you actually interfacing with the young kids, Gray and his older brother, like you really do feel that kind of feeling of fear. And that's one of the things about the original one that I really loved. And so as far as the CG is concerned, I give it at least a 9 out of 10. It was done really well. Only reason why I don't give it a 10 is because I felt like there were moments that they could have brought me out and kind of like shown me something that's like, you know, animatronic, you know, but they do a really good job for what they have, especially like there's this one amazing scene with Chris Pratt and with some velociraptors. Oh my gosh, this is freaking eye candy. So the score, it pays homage to the John Williams score. and like they tamper with it from time to time. There are certain set pieces. Well, that's the other thing. As far as the set pieces and where they go, and as far as how the island looked, I was like, this is what I would envision that, like, basically John Hammond wanted to create. And they display that very well. But then there are times where you look at this one scene and you're like, man, this feels like the scene, or this seems like the same exact set of the original one. And it is. A lot of times when you feel that feeling, the nostalgic feeling, it is, because what you'll hear in the backfold is a tampered version of the John Williams score, and they do a great job of implementing it in the right times, but not overdoing it. Some people might differ in that opinion, but I feel like that they changed it enough with each moment that kind of happened that I could really dig it, you know. And then especially when the new hybrid does come up, like when the score comes up to him, it's totally different. Like it's a different kind of feeling, and it's a different kind of level of fear when you're around watching him. So as far as the CG, as far as, like I said, the score, I give it a 9 out of 10 together. As far as the acting is concerned, the acting in this one is not an A+ acting. I feel like what I'll do is I'll give you the bad and then I'll give you the good. I feel like characters such as Jake Johnson's Lowry, Nick Robinson plays the role of Zach, the older brother, and even like Vincent D'Onofrio, who plays basically, like I said, the Kingpin in the Daredevil series, who plays the role in this one, Hoskins. I feel like they were all underused and underdeveloped to a ways. I think that Hoskins was put up as kind of like an anti-hero because he had our own ulterior agenda, and I like that. I like that part of his character, especially when they brought up a character that is supposed to be dead but has a really big play in this one. I thought that was really interesting, but they didn't evolve the pacing on the story enough to be able to make it of significance. And at the same exact time, like, what was the real weight of the actions that he was doing, you know? One of the things I will say they did right was with Efren Khan's Simon, who kind of has taken up the mantle of what John Hammond was doing as far as the leader of this entire park, and I thought he did a really good job. And then, of course, you got the three other characters, Chris Pratt, Bryce Dallas Howard, and Ty Simpkins. Ty Simpkins plays the role of Gray, and he's a smart kid. Like, he's really smart, and like, he doesn't make too many stupid decisions. Like, he knows all these animals up and down, and he's got all this broad range of knowledge. And I really thought his character, I really loved his character. The only thing I didn't like was his interaction with his older brother. I thought his older brother was doing a lot of stupid stuff, but towards the end, his older brother does do some really interesting things as far as what's going on in dynamics of their relationship and then with their family. So I thought that was really good. But I thought that when Ty was in it, I thought he did a really great job. And if you remember Iron Man 3, he was featured in that. So then you made two characters, Chris Pratt and Bryce. And they did a great job. Like, Chris Pratt owns this role. Like, he identifies with this character. I can just tell it all over the screen. And when his character, Owen, who is basically a raptor tamer slash entrepreneur slash like just a manly man, I was like, man, this feels like Harrison Ford, man. This feels like Indiana Jones. Like, he's got that swag about him. And like, he's not too overbearingly comedic. He's not too overbearingly charismatic. He's just this great, perfect hybrid that you can connect with this character. You like his character. He identifies it what this real threat is, and he doesn't play any games. And like, how he interacts with these animals or these dinosaurs is really eye-catching, because you can tell in his eyes that he believes what he's seen. And that's really hard to do, like, as far as with the CG elements is concerned. And even with Bryce, one of the things I say about her character, Claire, in the beginning I didn't like her character. And I think they built that up for that. But towards the end, I really liked her character. And I thought they did a really great job with it. But one of the things I'll say about her character is I actually love her evolution of understanding that these characters, or not these characters, but these dinosaurs were real life, you know. They're not just things that were concocted or things that were thought up or perceived. Like, they have a life of their own, and she gets that character development, and I really appreciated that. And even like she has some certain action sequences that happen towards the end that I was like, okay, all right, there you go, Bryce. I like you. You know. And like I said, it's a half and half. There were characters that were so underdeveloped, and then the characters that really were underused. And like I said, with Asaya, that played the character of Barry, like he was basically working hand in hand with Chris Pratt's character. And I mean, I could tell he knew his stuff, and I could tell he was really brave, and at the same exact time, like, but then like he didn't really get that much airtime, I guess. I don't know if they had to make sure they condensed most of the dinosaurs as a theme, which, like I said, that's an even thing that I'm not sure if they were able to juggle it the right way, and it kind of deflates from the character Barry, whereas it could have been a lot. It could have been a lot more epic, or even more of a different level than how they've done it in the past if they're trying to make this a brand new franchise. But either way, like I said, like Chris Pratt's character shines, and Dwight or Bryce Dallas Howard, and then Ty that plays the character of Gary. I really liked all three of their characters. I thought it was really well. And then these raptors, y'all, they actually take up a life of their own in certain levels. And like some of the moments with them and Chris Pratt are some of the most emotional moments in the movie, which is really surprising, which I really like that. I like that it resonated with me, and that's what it needs to be, because this is about the dinosaurs, not really about the people. And that might be why they didn't do more with the development of characters, but it could have made it a lot more of a classic, you know. Those movies, like especially the original one, even though there were people that got killed like that, you know, they had those moments of like, okay, wow, I see that character, you know. But so for that, I give the acting maybe, I guess, a 7 out of 10. But as far as the story is concerned, the story was all over the place, I have to admit, but it kept it as an homage to the original. Like, what was John Hammond's vision of creating like this park that people can be able to go to? I mean, I was just thinking, I was like, man, these folks are nuts, you know, going to this place, and how they get brought there, and the attractions, and how they move and work. That took a lot of planning and a lot of scripting to have all that break down. Because I was like, when they were doing it, I was like, man, well, that's a safety risk. That's going to be a safety risk later. I don't know what's going to happen here, but one of the things I'll say about the story is that they continuously kept me on my toes when it came to what they really cooked up with this hybrid, what was going to happen in the end resolve for the main characters, because I was looking at people dying like left and right, and I was like, there's no safe way out of this situation. And so it really had that horror slash action feel to it. It had a 90s flush to it, but in the end, I guess the story, it really was just for eye candy. It was really just for entertainment purposes, and that's what I took it as. That's why I perceived it. That's why I actually really liked it. So I mean, as far as the story is concerned, like to have the main character really, I guess, be this hybrid, and then what's centered around her is you got this other main character in Chris Pratt, and how he interacts with these dinosaurs and how love he has for them, whereas you got this one hybrid that is so warped that all they want to do is destroy. It's like man versus like deadly beast. It's not just man versus nature. This is man versus deadly beast that really just wants to take everything and eradicate it all. And then you've got the scientist and Bryce, and then you got these two unsuspecting kids that are dealing with family drama. They're kind of just put in this situation, and it's interesting to see how they work. And that's what the original ones did really well, is that you identified with the kids in a really great way. And part of that was the danger. I think people are the most vulnerable when they're in their life death situation, and they really do flesh out really well. But I think it could have been progressed a little bit better. And I was interested to see what was going to happen next, and I don't think there was anything after the credits. So that really surprised me, especially one thing that specifically happened at the end. And I don't think I even talked about it in the spoiler review, but I'll say that, like, based on the events of who was from the original one that's in this one and what they do at this one, at the end of it, like, there's no telling how this is going to continue, you know. And so I was surprised they didn't talk about that or go into anymore. But like I said, it's a really great time. You're gonna enjoy the movie regardless of the fact, because if not anything, you're gonna love Chris Pratt. You're gonna love the action in this one. You're gonna love the scare tactic moments that happen, and then just the grittiness of some of the things that really happen. This is not for everyone. Like, you don't bring your like 10-year-old or even your like 12-year-old maybe, because there are some gruesome deaths. There's some gruesome things that really happen in this one. It surprised me. Being a fan of the original, I'm like, man, I'm surprised they went and actually got that PG-13 rating. But I see how they did. But I really enjoyed it. I give it a 8.5. I think I was debating between an 8.2 or 8.5, but I'll go ahead and give it 8.5. It's not the best movie in the world, but it is on an entertaining level. Like, you will enjoy this movie. So hopefully go out and check out Jurassic World. Hopefully you enjoy my non-spoiler review. If you have any thoughts, any questions, please leave in the comment section below. If you like my review, please definitely leave a like. Thanks everybody for subscribing. Joe has been pretty sick, so keep him lifted up. And yeah, he's doing a lot better now. But hopefully you catch us soon with some more reviews. This is SCL0320. It is 1:30 in the night. I'm super sleepy, and I'm out, everybody. Y'all have a blessed night, blessed evening, blessed day. Till next time, peace.